I'm going to do a quick video on my PAP M90 MP from Century Arms, chambered in 5.56. Not a lot of videos out there on this particular rifle right now. I think AK Operators Union, I think they did some shooting and some initial stuff with it, but nobody's done anything in depth. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to either, other than what I have found wrong with it thus far. This is a fairly new firearm to me, about a week now. So I'm going to go over this kind of quick here, just to go over some of the things that I've encountered in the very short time that I have owned it. And I'm actually in the process of sending it back for either repair or exchange, depending on the severity of what they find compared to what I found. PAP M90. First round, downrange. I don't know. Let's see what we get. That ain't good. This thing's a piece of shit. What the fuck? Alright, let's try this. A real magazine. Oh, look at that. It's a piece of shit. Jesus Christ. Not good so far. Not good, not good. We're on paper, for what that's worth. Wow. So, we'll start off with, if you look at the rear sight on the M90 here, you can actually see how off it is. It's actually either the trunnion is crooked or this mounting portion that attaches to the leaf spring has knocked it askew, but it's very difficult to tell. It looks like the trunnion is evenly spaced. It might be a little closer over here than it is here, but I really don't know where the problem is, so it's going to have to be sent back. But if you look at the sight, it angles this way. So you take, for instance, we'll use a straight edge here. If this is the spine of the weapon, I think you can see, probably more obvious if you come off the front of the sight opposed to the other part, and the leaf sight is askewed at an angle. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the front sight post is canted. So the rear sight angles like this. I don't know, there we go. The rear sight angles like this across the top of the weapon, and the front sight post is canted in this direction. So we've got the cant, Got the rear sight going this way. In addition to that, the gas system on this weapon doesn't line up with the holes. And the only way I could get the weapon to fire, actually I got a couple rounds off on setting number 2, 0 rounds on 1, but the weapon wouldn't fully function, feed or fully eject the rounds on 2. So on 3, the weapon would fully function, the hole partially lined up enough to where the weapon would cycle correctly. I didn't have, on a setting of 3, I didn't have any failures to feeds or failures to extracts, but you could tell the weapon was extremely overgassed because it felt like you were shooting a 308 instead of a 5.56 round. It was absolutely uncomfortable, and it felt like the weapon was trying to pull itself apart. Definitely was not functioning the way it should have. So crooked, canted, and the gas system doesn't line up with the ports inside that match up with the barrel. So several issues here with this rifle. Must have been made on a Thursday leading up to a 3-day weekend perhaps. Maybe a disgruntled employee there in Serbia, because I'm led to believe, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure some folks have pointed out, but I'm fairly positive that these are not built by Century. These are built in Serbia. So with that in mind, I don't think that they're coming into the country and they're putting messing with the trunnion, front trunnion at all, or the leaf sight, or the front sight. I would expect these were being QC'd in Serbia. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I don't think so. So far, initial impressions are poor. It shot like hell when it was functioning. I don't know what else to say. I'm pretty disappointed. So I am in contact with Century Arms, so I am in the process of doing the things that are necessary to get this back out to them and either replaced or repaired. If you follow the point of aim off of the leaf sight, as you can see, if you follow the string, it most certainly angles off well past the front sight post, and then the front sight is canted to the left, which brings us off onto another angle off of the leaf sight. So if we come down the spine of the weapon off of the stock and we're trying to form a straight line, I think it would be somewhere about there. I don't know what else to say. With a little luck and maybe a couple weeks, I'm hoping to get this sent out maybe within the day or two, and then with a little luck, maybe in a week or two I can get it back, either repaired or replaced, and it'll be right, and I can get out and shoot it and get a true gauge for how I feel about it. Well, I think we're under gassed. Alright, we had to turn the gas up to 3 in order for it to eject shells. So let's made an adjustment on the front sight post. Let's try it again. Alright. Rapid fire. Let's see what she does. Alright, rapid fire. Let's see what we get out of this beast. So, beyond that, pretty disappointed. Until we meet again.